Firozabad police received intelligence that a dangerous fugitive had been spotted near the Buddha-Barthara intersection on Mainpuri Road. A specialized four-member team was formed immediately, moving to cordon off the area and trap the suspect before he could move again. As the police closed in, the suspect, who had been hiding in the dense brush, suddenly opened fire on the officers. The police returned fire. A single shot struck the suspect in the leg, ending the gunfight and allowing the team to move in for the arrest. This wasn't a routine patrol that turned violent. It was the final stand of a man who had been the subject of a manhunt for days. When the officers disarmed the wounded man, they recovered a country-made pistol, 5 live cartridges, and 2 spent shells. The suspect was identified as Jatindra Pathak, also known as Viraj. The ballistic evidence linked him directly to the shots fired during the encounter. The shootout was the conclusion of the case, but investigators now had to document the specific events that led an armed man to hide in the bushes on Mainpuri Road. The exchange at the intersection was the final beat of a story that had begun days earlier. Days before the gunfight, Viraj had been focused on a local woman named Rati, pressuring her with a persistent series of marriage proposals. Rati had consistently turned him down, making it clear she had no interest in his proposal. She told Viraj that her priority was her 1.5-year-old son, Arav, and that she would not consider marriage while raising her child. Rather than accepting this, Viraj began to view the child's existence as the singular factor standing between him and the marriage he wanted. He concluded that if the child was the reason for her refusal, the marriage could only happen if the child was no longer there. On Saturday, Viraj arrived with a plan to isolate the boy and remove what he saw as his only obstacle. He approached the toddler and lured him away from the safety of his family by promising to buy him toffees. Once he had the boy alone, Viraj carried out a brutal assault, repeatedly slamming the 1-year-old against the ground. By the time the family realized what had happened and rushed Arav to the hospital, it was too late. Doctors declared the child dead on arrival, and Viraj had already fled. In a single afternoon, Viraj's fixation had transitioned from a rejected proposal to a calculated murder. After his capture and treatment for the gunshot wound to his leg, Viraj was moved into police custody for questioning. During his interrogation, he openly admitted to the killing, explaining that he believed the boy was the only thing preventing Rati from marrying him. Following the confession, Superintendent of Police Ravi Shankar Prasad directed local authorities to begin the formal legal process immediately. Investigators are now linking the physical evidence from the crime scene and the encounter to the confession to finalize the charge sheet. This documentation is designed to provide the court with the necessary evidence to ensure the proceedings move toward the maximum legal penalty. While the police response ended the immediate threat on the road, the case remains a somber example of how a refusal can escalate into a tragedy when obsession is left unchecked.